morning and welcome to another Money Morning Routine. All right, so if you saw my Instagram yesterday, then you know the reason I didn't post on YouTube yesterday is because I forgot to connect my microphone to my t-shirt during the video, and so it just turned out with a bunch of echoes. So today I'm going to be going over kind of what I did yesterday that you didn't see. So first off, I had no spending going on yesterday. I had no spending going on today. No cash spending, nothing coming out of my checking account. And so I'll show you the transactions that I have from my checking account. I believe I had maybe one yesterday. But first I want to go over the first thing I did yesterday was I was going over my September budget calendar. I'm starting the process of getting that done so I can work on my September budget. Now with all the travel that I have going on, from now until the end, I would say November, I want to make sure I'm getting a good head start on my budgets. So I'm going to be working on September later on today and then prepping my October budget calendar. So let's look at September really quickly because September, I have travel from the 7th to about the 11th or 12th. We're going to be doing Yellowstone. Our wedding anniversary is happening during that trip. So we're celebrating our 3-year wedding anniversary. We have a friend's birthday, a friend who's getting married. We have, there's an event going on at the end of the month called Market in the Mountains that I really want to go to. Our sweet boy Toby, he's our little poodle rescue, Labradoodle rescue. He is turning 5. So a lot going on. We have the wedding, us traveling for our wedding anniversary, our dog turning 5. I have Disport going on. I have Disport on the 4th. So a lot of things happening in September. I really want to get that done. So that's the first prep that I did. If we go here to July and go to the end of the month. Now, yesterday, I just need to put in leftovers. We ended up having leftovers. So I need to put that here. I have something planned for tonight. I just need to look at my meal plan. So I need to get that written down in there. The next thing that I did is I got prepped with my July monthly budget category breakdown. So I went in and I added all my budget categories and then the monthly budgets for those categories. So all I have to do is fill this in when July ends and I'm closing out my budget. So not a lot different here for July, pretty much my same budget categories. The next thing that I did, so that's really the prep of what I'm doing. The next thing that I did is I went to the front of my workbook. I started filling in my yearly spending overview because I hadn't filled in May or June yet. So I got May and June filled in. Now the yearly spending overview is great because it allows you to see your spending trends over a longer period of time rather than month to month. Now, if you were sitting here saying, Miko, I'm really struggling with figuring out how to set correct budget limits for my categories, this is going to help you tremendously because you can see what you have been doing in the past. For example, if we look at food, which is the second line here for me, the highest amount I've spent so far in 2025 is $1,233. Now, I bet if I were to go to January, I'm just very curious why it's so high. If I go to January and look at my expense trackers, I thought so. Costco. There's a Costco transaction in there. So that's why that is a little bit higher. So that's the highest amount. The smallest amount that I've spent on food is $786. So this is where you could say, if you're trying to come up with realistic budget limits for yourself, budget category limits, I would budget $900, kind of right in the center here. And that's funny because that is my actual food budget. So it just helps you see trends across the board. Like in my fun and entertainment category, you can always tell when I'm taking a vacation because it's literally a very high amount. Like in April, we went to the Burlington for my husband's family over there, got to see where he grew up. And then June, I'm spending for our vacations happening in, October and November. So it's just a great way to see trends. Down here at the bottom, I have my yearly balance overview. Now, this is where you can track your overall balance of certain categories, like your savings balance, your debt balance, your retirement balance, your net worth balance, your non-retirement investments. Okay, that's me. It's great because this is essentially, you want your assets to grow over time, right? You don't want them to decrease. So like, for instance, if we look at my savings balance in January was $15,371. In June, it was $16,113. Well, that's gone up. That's a good thing. So you're able to just see the trends of your balances. Net worth was 1.3 in January. In June, it was 1.6, going up, right? It's going up. So that's the trend that I'd like to see with those balances. The next thing that I worked on and was looking at are my savings goals trackers in the beginning of my book. I'm trying to see if you can get this, if I can get this on one page here. So on my savings trackers, so I've already hit 3 of my birthday sinking funds goals. So those are done. Christmas, I'm still working on. Now I've halted back to school my wedding anniversary because I was working on my dream goal. I have until technically August to reach these goals. I'm fine where they're at now, but I do believe I can maybe fill one of these all the way up in August. Then we have property taxes and house insurance, which you can see I'm still working on. I'm getting there. I color in a leaf every time I add to my savings, which helps me fill in my visual trackers for my savings goals. So that is done. And then, of course, I was just looking over, making sure everything is prepped and planned and ready for all of our vacations, 4 of them happening just within the last 5 months of the year. So a lot going on. Most of them are completed. The other ones I'm going to be spending on my travel rewards credit card. So those have been done as well. Besides filling out my October, let's go to July and I'll show you my expense tracker really fast. I did have one transaction come out the other day that I briefly talked about in yesterday's video that I didn't get to put out. So since I would say the beginning of this year, technically middle of last year, I've been dealing with really bad sun and dark spots on my face, especially on my forehead. And they become really, really bad just over the last year. I went and saw a dermatologist about 3 months ago, and I've been on a prescription called Skin Envy or SKNV. I paid $140 recently to refill that. That refills it for 3 months. So you're refilling every 3 months. It's supposed to lighten or decrease the overall look of your dark spots. It's just, man, I put a side-by-side of my face from the end, literally, it was around the end of 2024 until now, and there is such a huge difference as far as my dark spots, and it's made me really, really self-conscious. I can't do laser or IPL because I get really bad histamine. I think that's what they're called, allergic reactions, where my skin blisters really bad and it itches really bad. So I can't do IPL or laser treatment. So this is what we're working on, but that's what that one line is for $140. Now that was not in my budget. I for some reason forgot that I was refilling that every 3 months. It just popped up on my phone that it was time to refill it. And so I'm using my checking account cushion for that. And it's falling in my medical category. But other than that, that is my full Monday morning routine.